Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an all new 3D printed grip accessory for the Retroid Pocket 5. I've been reading some recent comments on my last few Retroid Pocket 5 videos, and it seems the consensus is that this device could be a bit more comfortable, especially when playing those 2-stick or 3D based games. And you know what? To be honest, I kind of agree, but I've been waiting for a grip to appear so that way I could print one. And I'm fully aware that there are going to be a bunch of people commenting that you shouldn't have to get a grip on a $200+ handheld. However, I'm here just to explain that if you already have this handheld, or if you were looking at this handheld and the ergonomics were a deal breaker, that this grip actually really does revolutionize the way that I use this handheld. And I think it deserves highlighting and talking about. Now, one thing that I love is that it clips around the whole back, which leaves it nice and secure, but it leaves a nice air gap for that vent there, so you're not blocking out any of the airflow of the device, which is actually really smart thinking of whoever made this design. Now, it is a little bit large and bulky, but it really does allow you to reach the sticks and the triggers at the same time, and that's going to open up a bunch of different games that you can play more comfortably using this grip. And to be totally truthful, this was the first grip that I tried printing for the Retroid Pocket 5. It's this sort of separated style where you basically have a left and a right piece. But no matter how I tweaked the print or tried, I could not get it to print perfect. It was always protruding on the side a little bit, and it just was never that comfortable to hold on to. Having two different pieces meant it was kind of wobbly sometimes, which I also didn't like. It is a little bit slimmer than the one we're looking at here today. And one of the things that they tried to do was make it so there was these little posts that would go into the screw holes on the back of the handheld on the top and the bottom. However, I just never found that my prints were coming out well enough where they were actually sitting inside. And I actually kept snapping the top off of the piece that was supposed to kind of hang over the top of the handheld. So I just decided that I wasn't going to highlight too much on that one because I just had such bad luck with it. And if you've never used a Retroid Pocket 5 before, the grips that they provide on the back are actually really nice. They have a nice texture. The only problem that I run into when actually using this device is anytime that I need to use the thumbsticks and the triggers at the same time, or use both thumbsticks back and forth, it's just not long enough. Like, they've angled it in a way where it's comfortable for a lot of 2D games and D-pad use. It just really comes down to when you're trying to play those games where you need to reach to the bottom of the device to get the sticks, or if you need to go back and forth. But just playing your regular 2D games on this thing, you don't necessarily need a grip. Some great examples of that would be some lighter weight titles, things like Balatro, that are very casual and don't really require you to move around very fast, or even more things like Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, things of that nature, all feel perfectly fine and serviceable with the handheld without using the grip. It's really some other use case scenarios like game streaming, where you would really want to be able to get the most out of this beautiful OLED screen and the device itself. And so you would want to be able to have a little bit more comfort while playing some more intense games. And speaking of game streaming on this device, at CES, I had the joy of checking out the Razer booth where they showed me their new streaming service that they were releasing. And to be honest with you guys, I've been really impressed with this. I've used other things in the past like Moonlight and some of the other third-party options, even just directly streaming over the Steam Link app. And I have to say that this one beats all of them in features and visual quality and ease of use. Now, my buddy Russ did a great video showing you how to set it all up and get it running, and I'll leave that link down below. But there's a lot of features that I don't have time to get into here, so if you are someone that likes game streaming, I definitely recommend you check out that video. Now, moving over to emulation again, there are a ton of games from the PS2 and GameCube era that really do use both sticks and sometimes even the triggers at the same time. And I wanted to revisit some of the games that I always found to be a little bit crampy or uncomfortable when playing without a grip, just to see how it would change the experience. Now, this first one up here is a classic that everybody, I think, loves, and that's Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is a game where you're going to be doing lots of fast movement and aiming, and I always found that it was very, very uncomfortable without a grip. But I'm happy to say that just adding this little grip really makes it a lot more fun. Now, another game that's a timeless classic is the Burnout series. The only thing I don't like about this series is you can't put subscribe as your name for your profile. So you're going to have to take a break from watching this video and click the subscribe button down below in order to help me to feel better about making this video. All jokes aside, I know it's kind of a letdown that we have a lot of handhelds these days that are coming out needing some sort of support in order to become more ergonomic. But you have to keep in mind that these devices are designed to play a very wide range of different games. So it's kind of hard to make it a perfect fit for one thing and then, adapt it to be perfect for something completely different. I think having the grip option is great because you can take it off if you're just taking it with you on the go and you're only going to be playing in smaller sessions, or you're going to be sticking to some of those 2D titles that we mentioned earlier. And to be fair, you can service this thing and play without using a grip. But when you're going to be playing for longer sessions or things that are a little bit more intense, it's just going to add more comfort to it. And if you already have a 3D printer, I will leave the file down below that you can print this yourself. And I'm sure that they'll be looking to be putting these up on Etsy any day now. So I'll also take a look. And if there are any available at the time of editing this video, I will also link that down below. And another one of my favorite arcade racing series to play is the Need for Speed Underground series, specifically Need for Speed Underground 2. And even more specifically, I enjoy playing the GameCube version of this game. And that is because you can use the analog triggers to have a little bit more precision when using gas and brake and things like that. And being able to have those be comfortable in reach while also using the stick to drive around just feels amazing. Because again, the end goal for me here is to feel like I'm holding a comfortable controller that has a screen in the middle. And I think that this grip does a really good job at that. And the last game I wanted to showcase here in like the gameplay portion of this video was Time Splitters 2. I honestly just picked this game because it was a first-person shooter, and I thought having a first-person shooter with this grip would be really great. But as you can see, I'm fumbling my way through these controls, and it's because I always forget when I play this game after it's been a while that it defaults you to using inverted aiming, which is just absolutely horrible. The only person I know that uses inverted aiming in FPS games on purpose is Russ from Retro Game Core. But that dude was also in the military for a million years, and he speaks like 60 languages. So for all I know, he's probably also secretly a fighter jet pilot, and those, joystick controls or whatever are familiar to him. But to the normal person out there, it blows my mind that something like this and Halo existed at the exact same time. But I know a lot of people are going to be using their Retroid Pocket 5 specifically to play a lot of Android games and things like that. And there's a lot of popular first-person shooters on there. And to be honest, using this grip definitely improves the ability to do that. I was checking every single day when I got my Retroid Pocket 5 for a grip to be available on Thingiverse or the other 3D print sites. And, we saw that first one that I printed. I wasn't too happy with that one. I'm hoping eventually maybe we'll see a higher quality version of this come to the market. But for now, this little 3D printed one is amazing. It's actually got me wanting to experiment with different types of filament to see if I can maybe make one that's more rubberized or something like that. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Like I said, this isn't something I typically would make a video about, but because so many people commented on my last few videos on the Retroid Pocket 5, I thought I would just let everyone know that, hey, I found a grip and it's pretty good. It covers all the bases that I'd like it to, so thought we'd check it out together. If you guys like this video, please make sure you like it down below. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm a brand new channel. I'm really working hard to try to grow my subscriber count so that way I can work more with these companies to get these handhelds for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.